What's up everyone, welcome to this video. We have the new update of eFootball and it is time now. We have some new packs of course here. Showtime AFC Asian qualifier with Blitzcurler Sun. We have Indonesia Showtimes. We have the Barcelona highlight players celebrating the victory of FC Barcelona in the Spanish league. But what everybody is waiting for, of course, it is now the time when you can select the free epic card here from the worldwide special. And of course, the question that everybody is now asking themselves is, should I pick Michael Owen or should I pick Gabriel Batistuta? And of course, there are other players in this promotion. But most of the people, they want to get a striker, and these are really the only two strikers here, and they're pretty good players. They're some a tier above the other players if it comes to absolute levels and usability of the cards. And the question then becomes, well, which one should I pick? Because you have only one choice and you have to choose between the two. So now the question becomes, what is the rest of your team and what do you really need in terms of strikers? Do you already have a card that is, one of your starters that plays and that you're going to keep and that you're going to associate either Michael Owen or Gabriel Batistuta with? And if that is the case, then think about that card and think about what the strong suits, the strong points of that card are. And then you can have a better idea of whether you should pick Owen or Batistuta. I would say, out of all the cards that are available in this promotion, these are the two best. And in terms of level, they're pretty much in the same tier of cards. They're not the best tier. They're not the elite strikers in this game. They are one level below, what you could expect from a Samuel Eto'o or a Rummenigge or maybe a Gareth Bale or something like that. But they're, just under. They're very good strikers, not the elite that will remain pay to win cards from Konami. But here for free cards, this is the highest level of free cards that you're going to get, I think, in this game. And so the question becomes now, which one should you pick? Which one do you need? So Batistuta, he's a little bit taller. He's an elite finisher, I would say. But the problem with this card is he has a very, very low passing. If you look here, you see low pass 58, lofted pass 55. And if you look here at the heat map, you can see passing is very, very bad. Even when the card is fully leveled up, the passing is going to be horrendous. And that is the problem. He's an elite finisher, but without passing, then he cannot really link up that well with his teammates. And because of that, then you cannot play two players at the top like Batistuta, because otherwise they're not going to be able to pass the ball to each other and you're not going to be able to build your attacks. When it comes to Michael Owen, as you can see here, the weakness that he has is that physical contact here, only 60. And otherwise, Owen is a very playable card, I would say. He's good at pretty much everything. Very good as a striker, offensive awareness, finishing, dribbling. He's okay in passing, speed, acceleration. His agility overall is very, very good. But he cannot hold up the play because he's so small. And if you already have a small forward, then you're going to have problem having two smaller forwards that are going to be bullied by the central defenders of the opposite team. So that is really the question that you should ask yourself when you're talking about picking one or the other. Who are you going to associate them with? For example, let's say if you have a Haaland special card, then perhaps Michael Owen would be a very good choice. Haaland is a left-footed player. Owen is a right-footed player. Haaland is big and strong. Owen would be agile and fast. And they could play together pretty well. You could do the events of the English league with both of these forwards. So if you had, let's say, a Showtime Haaland, then perhaps Michael Owen would be a very good choice. On the other side, for Batistuta, if you have Haaland, Batistuta wouldn't be the best choice, because then at the top you have two players that can't really pass that well, that can't really dribble that well. They're very good finishers, they're big, but they have some similar play style, and they're not going to be that complementary. If you have someone like on my free-to-play account, I have a Del Piero that I got back in the days with a free spin. And with Batistuta, that goes very well together. Del Piero is in a way somewhat similar to Michael Owen, perhaps even more technical than Michael Owen. And that makes it a very good combination with Batistuta, who's going to be a very good finisher. Del Piero can feed him balls and, cross the ball to him, can pass the ball to him, can run down the flank and sort of move the defense, while Batistuta sets himself in front of the goal to just receive that pass and tap it in. So that's going to be, the question that you're going to have to ask yourself, considering the players that you have in your team, who is the guy that you should get? And, like at the end, when it comes to if you have nobody, you're just starting the game today and you're like, okay, who do I pick? Then I would say, Batistuta is slightly better as a card. You can see he's 99 rated. Owen is 98 rated. But the thing is, Batistuta is a little more difficult to play with because his passing is not very good, because his dribbling is not very good. He's not the type of card that you can actually play easily if you're a beginner at the game. He's sort of a striker for people who are more advanced at the game, who know how to build the play with the rest of the team and to use Batistuta as the finisher. And, if you're starting the game and, you're going to have, a tendency to sort of get the ball with the player, run and dribble and try to move forward to the goal, then Michael Owen is a better choice because he can actually do that. He's very nimble, he's very agile. So you can take him and sort of trying to dribble your way through the defense, which you can't do with Batistuta. Batistuta, if you try to dribble with this guy, he's just going to lose the ball. He's going to play more like a target man. He's going to hold up the play, pass the ball back to a midfielder, and then move up the pitch. And then you're going to have to build the play with your midfielder to try to find him in a better situation where he can just have that finishing touch, strike the ball and score the goal. Whereas Michael Owen, you can pass the ball to him. He can turn around, get in the right direction, start to dribble. And if you're starting the game, if you don't really know what you're doing on the pitch in terms of building the play with your teammates, then Michael Owen is probably a better choice when it comes to his usability for a player that's beginning the game. And so that's what I would say. If you're an advanced player and you know what you're doing, then Batistuta is probably the elite finisher that can really spice your game up, add a little something, and give you that finishing touch that perhaps you've been missing if you haven't really been spending that much money on the game, because he has that phenomenal finishing skill. But if you're someone who's starting the game and you're not really familiar with how the game is played, then Michael Owen is more of a playable card. And so, that's going to be on you. Figure out what kind of player you are. If, you're someone who's starting the game, I guess, recommend Michael Owen. If you're someone who's more advanced and you know how to build the plays, then I would say go for Batistuta. All the other players, in here, some are pretty good. Actually, they're all pretty good, I would say, except maybe Dennis Bergkamp and Ludovic Giuli. All the other, I would say, they're pretty good. Some of them, Van Buiten, Abbiati, Odo, it's position that you don't see very often for free-to-play cards. Usually it is strikers and midfielders. That's where you find the better players. So, I would say, look at your team. You don't have to pick Michael Owen or Batistuta. And I'm going to make a video tomorrow explaining who I'm going to pick. And I'm not going to pick actually either Owen or Batistuta. But we'll see tomorrow about that. But for today, when it comes to Owen and Batistuta, like I say, guys, figure out what kind of player you are and figure out where your needs are. And, if you want to play with someone who can dribble and is a little bit easier to manage and handle, go for Michael Owen. If you're someone who's more advanced and you know exactly how to use someone who's essentially a tap-in artist like Batistuta, then go for him. He is a goal-scoring machine. Anyway, guys, let me know who you're going to choose. I'm very interested. A lot of opinions here. Other people, preferring one over the other. Who's your pick in this worldwide promotion pack? But anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you all on the next one. Peace.
Hit me with that like and sub to the channel. Hit me with that like and click the effing bell. Click that bit, alright. The algo recommends for sure you gon' like. The algo knows you well. Hit me with that like, subscribe to the channel. Hit me with that like and click the effing bell.